My people, Super Bowl Sunday. I'm standing in the garage, and we are getting ready for the game. It's happening in a few minutes. I just want to share with you the fact that if Saquon Barkley can do what it is, and that's why I got his jersey on, can do what it is I'm hoping for, is to prove with a final stamp, not a rubber stamp. This is a stamp soaked in fire and blood and in pain, and makes the final stamp on how stupid the Giants organization was to let him go. That's my only thought. If there was some way for the Eagles to lose and Saquon still win and get the trophy, I'd take it. But that's not reality. I got to root for the whole team, but what I'm rooting for is the anchor to that team. And selfishly, even now, had you not given this man up, more likely the Eagles would not be in the Super Bowl. So I got to prep the grill. I got some steaks to put on later, maybe at halftime. Could be that we'll see what's up. Stupid ass Kansas City won the toss. But hey, all things being equal, defense wins championships. And I expect the Eagles defense to step up. So we're going to see. There's going to be some more that we're going to add to it. I got to share you some little plot points they had in an article about Joe fucking the dumbass Shane and all of that. But now it's game time. Let's go Saquon. Well. Mr. Joe Shane, your work is complete. You have, from big A all the way to Z, changed the course of history, maybe for a long time to come in the NFC East, by delivering the very tool that the Philadelphia Eagles needed to make it to the Super Bowl. Because somewhere along that line, had you done and Daboll's done their job, with Saquon still on the team, with your utilization of a tight end that you already have on the team in Daniel Bellinger, and having a better play calling system than what you were using under Daboll's, and going back to Kafka, or getting someone else to be that guy, you would have turned around and possibly maybe went 8-8. Now, I've read a lot of different articles. A lot of guys are saying, hey, don't get this twisted. The Giants maybe would have won one more game. I think they would have won more than one. And certainly if had certain decisions been made properly at the beginning, it wasn't anyone's fault on the team but Brian Daboll's when he knows his kicker's hurt in the Washington game and turns around and doesn't have his other kicker dressed and ready to go to replace him. So he decides not to do it when all data points to the fact to give yourself a chance to win, you need to have a good kicker, since you knew that old boy had a strained leg or whatever his problem was. I'm expecting for us to get a new kicker. I don't know what kind of kickers are in the draft coming up, but congratulations to the Eagles, as hard as that for me to say. Again, I told a friend of mine that's an Eagles fan, if there was some way for the Eagles to lose the Super Bowl, but Saquon still win the Super Bowl, I would do it. But that's crazy talk. So the Eagles won. Jalen Hurts put it down. My picks that I had went right out the window because the Eagles were so good, they shut down what my picks would have been on the Chiefs side of the ball. I am very happy that somebody finally found a way to come after him, and the front four did a really good job of that, and that was the difference in the game, and it put enough pressure on him to make some bad decisions. I was surprised that Andy Reid didn't make some changes, and I thought a lot of more quicker inside passes. You had the one play going across the middle in the second half to D-Hop, and he dropped the ball, hit him in his hands. But other than that, it was just pure, unadulterated pressure that they just couldn't get out of. And I think psychologically, they're so used to getting the handout from the refs because you can make the argument that the two teams that were supposed to be in this Super Bowl, without Joe Shane's help giving the Eagles the Saquon, and without the referee help to the Kansas City Chiefs to win the two games that they played against the Texans and the Bills, it might have been Washington Commanders going against the Bills in the Super Bowl, which would have been a very interesting and beautiful matchup. But it is what it is. For right now, Kansas City is going to have to find a way to reconstitute itself. Generally speaking, when you have a team of this caliber, with this caliber of talent, it starts getting picked off piecemeal, and they got to kind of go into a rebuilding state. Will that happen? I don't know. Andy Reid is an amazing coach. Spagnuolo, ex-Giant defensive coordinator, who got to see the vision of what it was like to see his type of defense play well and shut down the offense. That was the type of defense that you called in 2007 against the Patriots. And it was interesting. At one point, Tom Brady says in the comments that were being made in the booth that losing kind of sticks with you and sometimes in the manner in which you lost. And he says, "Forever I will be hurt by what the Giants did to me," which makes me very happy to hear that, and I hope that one day we might find a way to get back to that. I was glad to see that for the most part, the refs stayed out of the game and just let them play. And that was a good thing. And you might consider Roger Goodell, you $64 million a year fucking bum, to let's tighten up on what we're doing referee-wise. Let these guys play. And unless you have clear-cut evidence of a penalty, then we shouldn't see any yellow fucking flags slowing down the game or slowing down the flow of the game. And another thing that has to go is the pass interference call. It can't be at the spot of the foul. That's just giving somebody too much real estate for no fucking reason. If a guy fouls a guy with pass interference, you get 10 yards. And we call it a day and keep it moving. And that gives a chance for you not to call a pass interference play that totally changes the course and dynamic. And you could say that for probably 7 out of the 17 games that the Chiefs played where they got a call favorable to them, where Mahomes just wound up and threw down the field, and then, they throw the flag. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy for Saquon in a really big way. And again, this is the moment of come to Jesus for John Mara, where John Mara needs to say, you know what? I cannot go forward with Joe Shane. And this Super Bowl win for the Philadelphia Eagles in our own division, letting go of an important player that was only 2 seconds away from going to the Bears. And you could have made it so that he could not go to a team in the division. That had to be a part of the agreement, or she would have threatened to franchise tag the guy or whatever. You could have did that. You could have had enough sense to do that, and you didn't have enough sense to do that. There is no way going forward that the Giants could be successful with you at the helm as GM, and you need to go. I think that the Jets ended up with a better record than the Giants did, and yet the Jets fired the GM before the season was even out. And in all reality, after Hard Knocks and seeing the reaction on the internet from Hard Knocks and social media, you should have been fucking gone. And here you are still collecting this multi-million-dollar check, and I have no fucking faith in you. So hashtag fire Joe Shane. Hashtag hire Michael Strahan or Louis Riddick as the new GM. John Mara, wake up, wake the fuck up, and do this now while we still got a chance in the early part of our real rebuilding process. And Dables, your ass is on the firing line, because if you start in with the same bullshit that you've done over these last couple of years with your terrible gameplay, your ass can go before the season is even fucking on. You know, before it's out. Let's say it that way. I'm gonna give you a chance because you're there. You know, I feel like the bigger problem has always been Joe Shane, but your status and your data don't back up your position as a so-called quarterback whisperer. And the play calling was dog shit. And again, let's look at the opening plays of both the Chiefs and the Eagles. Tight end, asshole. You threw to fucking Kelsey early in the game. You weren't successful. And you didn't get passes off to him. I think he only caught 1 or 2 passes in the whole fucking game. They latched in on him. And that's because the front four was putting so much pressure that he didn't have time to find him. The other part is that Goddard got passes early. The tight end is an intrinsic part of your early game planning when you have 15, 20, 30 scripted plays you got. If you don't have the tight end involved in at least 5 or 6 of those fucking scripted plays, you're an asshole in today's league. And Brian Daboll has called the game like an asshole not to have used Daniel Bellinger. Hashtag Daniel Bellinger tight end. Okay? Unbelievable, the decision-making process. But I had a little pre-video that I did before the game. This is my little post Monday morning, you know, what happened. You know, it's interesting to see some of the voices that are always there to run and jump up and kick on Jalen Hurts. But now that something they didn't expect to happen, they're kind of silent, you know, so they're going to have to try to regroup themselves together. They were probably the person that ran and put all this money on the Chiefs in Vegas or online and didn't get anything, so they're mad now. So all you guys, just get a hold of yourself, and all of us get lined up for the new season. I am still leaning towards more of Cam Ward than Shedeur Sanders, but we'll see what's going to happen going forward. But the first order of business is to get Joe Shane some cardboard boxes from U-Haul and get him to pack his fucking office up and get him the fuck out of there. So, as usual, let's go New York Football Giants, hopefully without Joe Shane in our new upcoming season. Let's go Giants.